Welcome to Did You Know? We're back. We're back. So, hey, YouTube land. Hey to the audience members. Welcome back to Did You Know this week. We have one of Horizon World's favorite influencers here tonight. She's a builder and she also owns British Candy Promotions. I have actually heard her rap in this space too. So we want to kind of pick her brain and figure out who is she and what she's doing in this space. So everyone, let's welcome British Candy.
Hello, everyone. Yeah.
British? Hey, hey.
Mm.
So this is your first time coming to Did You Know?
Yep,
Thank you
first time.
so much. Thank you so much. So, listen, if you haven't watched any of my shows or peeked in, I started the same way. I asked the same question, and it is, who are you? So, British Candy, tell us, who are you?
Well, I'm British Candy. I have British Candy Promotions. It's a promotional service on the metaverse that showcases worlds and all the highlights of the worlds that attract people. So I make advertisements that just allure people in. And also, so people can really, really and truly see the beauty of the actual worlds that exist on Horizon Worlds because the world doesn't know. So I'm
Right.
here to showcase every single last bit of it.
Yes, honey. And I see you all across social media too. Taking a look. Hey, Jolly Joy, the Jolly Joe, have a seat. We on YouTube
Hey, Joy.
Live. We in the middle of a podcast. Introduce. We're gonna get with you after the show, okay, honey? So yeah, YouTube. We do have our friends that pop in on us to kind of figure out what we're talking about. So they will be popping in the audience while we are doing this podcast. Okay, so British.
Yeah.
I hear um an accent.
Oh,
Tell us
yeah.
a little bit about who you are and where you're from, and tell us
Well,
a little bit.
I'm from the UK where we eat tea and crumpets. Well, drink tea and eat crumpets.
You know,
I have
keep that.
actually.
Keep
I live in London, so it's lovely
okay.
here. It's
I
quite cold at the moment, but it's good.
We're definitely gonna get back to that because I want to talk about Bridgerton at the end of the show. I want to pick
Oh,
your
I love that
brain on
show.
that.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I do too, honey. We're gonna talk about that. So tell us, how did you find Horizon Worlds and what made you start being who you are? Because you're very multi-layered. I mean, you're few dimensions in here. I mean, so you're
Yeah.
building some, you are promoting different brands in here. I see a lot of different advertisements that comes out from you. Brilliant work.
Thank you.
I see that you also work with some magazines here in the digital space. So just kind of walk us through you coming into Horizon Worlds and what opened up your gates to all of these different avenues.
Okay, well, when I first came onto the metaverse, I came on just going into big screen and stuff like that. My friend introduced me to the headset. He made me buy it because I was in the house because I got something called agoraphobia. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I ended up buying the headset. It was a slow progression. So then as time went on, I wanted to help people in here. I first came in wanting to help people, like to say, okay, if they needed a like a bot, maybe I could finance them buying a bot,
Mm-hmm.
you know, so they could
Mm-hmm.
play music in their worlds or finance some kind of um how can I say staff, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched for a while and I thought, maybe that's not the way to go. So I decided to, how can I help these people to generate funds, to generate things like that? And I thought doing promotions, promoting their worlds, because some people, as you know, are monetized on the metaverse.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought to myself, this would be a perfect way of supporting and also helping people that are monetized to gain more income,
Mm-hmm.
traffic to their worlds, etc. So that's how I came about that. I used to um, work with a magazine on the app, and then we parted ways beautifully. And I decided to use my skills in that department to do promotional um, magazine promotions for people within the metaverse, showcasing basically their talents, giving them their flowers. There's
Mm-hmm.
so many people on the metaverse that if you just dig into them, you'll find so much beauty inside of them. Like you'd be surprised what they do on here as well as in real life. So I
Mm-hmm.
decided to say, okay, let me create a promotional publication style, um, you know, little magazine style article that I can post on Instagram called Meta Blaze because it's for the people blazing in the metaverse. So basically, that's what I did. So I decided to do that. And then obviously, like before all of that, I've always been a creative person, just in general.
Mm-hmm.
Anything creative. I'm just like a little creative monster. So I decided I decided to just say to myself, you know what? Let me kind of go into the building side of things. And I
Mm-hmm.
went into the building side, and man, did I ended up being a little builder. Ooh, look at you. Okay.
So how many worlds would you say? I mean, how many worlds do you have under your belt that you've
Okay.
created?
Well, to be fair, I've only released one world, but I have multiple worlds that I have built for other people or been a part of collaboration wise.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so it's been very interesting. It's been very
Mm-hmm.
interesting, especially seeing the reactions of people. Some people didn't even believe that I built the worlds. They were like asking other people, "Did you help her build it? Did you help her build it?" I was like, baby, that was all me."
So where do you get your inspiration from? Because it sounds like you are just an artistic person in general. So
Yeah.
where do you get your inspiration?
My inspiration, the Most High.
Yeah.
I always say to people, everything you require in this world is within you.
Yep.
It's already inside of you. And how you anchor it is by becoming one with the universe, which is the Most High, and embodying that. And it opens you up. Your flame inside starts to awaken. And
Mm-hmm.
then if you apply that to things you're doing, it will become great. Like I tell people all the time, when I'm in bill mode and I take out, just like how you would bless your food, right? You take your food and you bless it as you cook. Like that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine like building every piece, every block, every circle that I take out, every sphere, triangle. I give thanks naturally. And then I start building. So that's why people always wonder, how did she start building and be so good straight away? Most high. That's
Amen.
my thing. Yeah.
Amen. Yeah, that's a great answer. That's where all of our inspiration should
Yep,
start.
it definitely does.
I mean, that is the source. It's
Yep,
the truth and only source. So
right.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
with you on that, boo. I got you on that.
Yeah,
Oh, so I want to go back because we dove feet first into this conversation about what you're doing into this space.
yeah.
We didn't warm them up or nothing. What do you want to share about your experience with and you please keep it light with intertwining with us Americans here and you being very British, Candy. How is that? Like what is that like?
Well, I mean, different cultures, different flavors. It takes
Mhm.
time. There's a culture in America, there's a culture in the UK, and it's just about finding that beautiful balance. I mean,
Mhm.
um, and understanding the culture of the metaverse, because people, whether they believe it or not, there's a culture on here.
It is.
Every app that you go into, there's a way that they function. And it's about just taking your time, adapting, seeing what works for you, what doesn't work for you, where you fit in, where you don't fit in. And if you don't fit in, find your own lane because that's
Mhm.
okay. You know, a lot of people think they have to do what everyone else is doing in order to succeed, but sometimes it's about you coming in and just finding your place and creating it. Like that's basically what I did, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So being around Americans for me is cool. It's fun. I
Yeah.
mean, there was a point in my life when I was younger when I went to school in America. So I I find it very easy to integrate with Americans,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm really
Mm-hmm.
honest. Yeah.
So I asked that question for a purpose because I find it so intriguing that since we have these headsets now,
Yeah.
we have easy access to learn more, spending time socially with others and from different cultures. So
Yeah.
I find it a beautiful experience, and that's kind of why I asked that question that way. So thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing. So do you see yourself like building anything soon that you want to tell us about or what you're
Well,
creating?
I've actually had my office in Bill. It's been in Bill mode for 6 months and I haven't released it yet. So that's what I'm going to be releasing next. And then
Okay.
I'm going to be working on a podcast with someone. And then I'm just going to start doing a few collaborations with people,
Mm-hmm.
um, and just seeing like where my creativity brings me.
Where it
Because
leads
no
you,
matter
yeah.
how much you learn creative wise on the metaverse, there's always more to learn. There is so much more to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see myself
What are
really
y'all boy?
excelling on here,
Mm-hmm.
really, really excelling.
Mm-hmm. So tell me, it seems like, well, you have a lot going on in here. And then we have the real world with things that are going on there. Tell
Yeah.
me, how do you balance?
How do I balance? Finding balance within myself. I mean, that's
Mhm.
where it all starts. I mean, finding, prioritizing, making time, just saying, okay, this is the time that I'm going to spend doing my real life stuff. This is the time I'm going to spend doing my metaverse stuff. This is going to be me time because in
Mhm.
everything you do, you have to find a level of me time in the whole equation. Otherwise, what happens is you become disbalanced and then there is no balance. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's kind of how I handle that one.
Mhm. So with most of the events and stuff that goes on in here are in Eastern time. How do like it's different time zones. So what time is it? What's 9 Eastern here? What time is it there? So how what is that like? Because that should be in the wee
Ugh.
hours of the morning for you, right?
Like right now, who it's oh man, it's very early in the morning right now. The time frame is very different. I think it's like 5 6 hours difference. So
Yeah.
what I do is I just go to sleep early, a little bit earlier, and so I can come on. So I literally really do balance my time out in order
Mhm.
to get online, whether people
Mhm.
believe it or not.
Mhm. You
Yeah,
have to. I mean,
yeah, hundred
because
percent.
you're running in we're all running in different social groups, and I'm sure that will be something one day that will be studied on how are we balancing that with, let's say for instance you open a business and you start working with a company here in the US, and their office hours here in VR are from 8 to 5. How are we going to mitigate and continue to have those business relationships? You feel what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I find that so intriguing. And since we're in here so early, we're going to figure it out and write the blueprint to help people understand how to conduct business across different time zones and it not miss a beat.
yeah,
Hmm.
because I definitely don't miss a beat.
I'm sure not. I'm sure not. I'm sure. I'm almost positive of it. You wouldn't
Let's
be
go.
able to if with everything that you're involved in. So I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
What excites you most about, you know, this VR technology and where it's headed and
What
what
excites me
you're
the
doing?
most?
Mm-hmm.
Well, to be fair, the technology doesn't excite me if I'm really honest. But what
Mm-hmm.
excites me is seeing people from all different walks of life, from different parts of the world, Also, when I see the talent that is actually on the metaverse, the talented
Mhm.
singers, rappers, and being able to use my talents to help them showcase what talents they have. Now that moves me. Being able to take my talents and use it to showcase people's worlds, that moves me.
Mhm.
Seeing people happy from me doing that for them makes me happy. You know,
Mhm.
it's that, yeah, that intrigues me a lot. I mean,
Mhm.
the technology is just technology. I'm happy with the technology. I think it's really, really innovative. It's going somewhere where God knows where it's going, but it's going somewhere really great, because there's going to be a point where people actually come on here and shop for food and like their school clothing, and children using this as an extracurricular thing to do their homework. And it's
Mhm.
already happening. It's already
Mhm.
happening in the city of Athens.
Yeah,
Do you see
right
what I
down
mean?
the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the name
Mhm.
of it? Sorry. Say, shout out the name.
River
Yeah.
Rouge School District out from Detroit. We're doing a digital twin with their classrooms. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
happening
It's
very
happening.
fast. Yeah,
So all those parents out there, get your children an Oculus, because there is productive things in here where your children can actually learn and benefit to help them
agreed.
in their future. Yeah.
Disclaimer though, because I always say when we're talking to the YouTube audience, that if you're gonna get your child a headset, please be vigilant as well. We look cartoonish, but there are adults in this space, and you want to always be particular if your children are going to be around adults, if you're not in the same room and paying attention. So just be mindful of that. That's always a disclaimer that I give. It's important that we educate the
Yeah.
parents because they're not really sure either. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So yeah. Yeah, yeah. So, okay, cool. So what advice would you give to anyone that's looking to start out in Horizon Worlds? What would you say?
I would say take your time and take everything in before you make your move, so you can make the right move. See where you fit in. See if you, and if, as I said before, and if you don't fit in, find your space and create it. There's nothing wrong with that. Because if
Mm-hmm.
you come in and you look around and see what's missing and you can fill that gap, why not? You know, just take your time. That's what I would say. Scope the whole scene before you jump in head first.
Mm-hmm.
Get to know people, because there's going to be a lot of amazing people on here that can help push you forward and support what it is you're doing. But you just have to make sure it's the right people, just like in real life. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Have you found ways to monetize yourself in this space?
Yes, I have.
That's perfect. I love to
Because we
hear it.
like money.
I love
It's
to
funny.
hear
It's
it.
funny because at first, for a whole year, I did free promotions just to help the community, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Mr. Gino Tony over there was like, hell no. He was like, girl, you better get your money.
That's right. That's what this space is for.
so, so
That's right,
after a
Gino.
while, I
Tell
did. He said, yeah, you can do all of that charitable stuff, but get your money.
get that
Like, I
bag.
was,
That's what, yeah,
yeah,
get that
he
bag for
did.
real.
Yeah, he
Mm-hmm.
did. And it was good advice, because you know what? He was just being honest. He was
Yeah,
putting monetary value on my talent, on my time and effort that I was actually putting in. Like, people don't understand sometimes how long it takes to edit something the way I
I
do.
do. And
Do you see what I mean?
I,
It's not, sometimes there's more that goes into it than just me just throwing something into. Everybody uses these templates and stuff. I actually create. Like,
mm-hmm,
do you see what I mean? So
mm-hmm.
it was like, you know what? He has a very valid point. Very valid point. So I
British,
went
you
with that.
do good work. I
Thank you very
mean,
much. I appreciate it.
very, very good work. And to hear you say that you do most of your stuff without templates, girl, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Have you seen my flyers?
Yeah. But they're good.
They're
They're good. They're
no,
good
no.
enough.
Yeah, yeah. I
Good.
want to be on the level, just but so I am looking into some content creating classes and stuff too. But talk about that. Talk about your experience with learning how to be a great content cre a good content creator and how to use those tools, whether it's Canva or any other websites that you use?
I've always had a knack for using apps, computers, etc. Right, so that's where it
Mm-hmm.
started, and I have this thing inside of me called belief. So whatever it is I touch, I don't ever go in thinking I can't do this. If there's something I want to do, I start researching like how do I go about that, and I play about with these apps. That's the thing. People sometimes they see all these technologies and buttons and they start getting all like, but it's a matter of just taking your time and playing around and seeing what
Mm-hmm.
things do. And once you learn how to incorporate all of those things to create the vision that you want. That's another thing that I have is vision. That's where it all starts, is the vision that you have in your mind. I know
Mm-hmm.
how to look at somebody's world and say, okay, how best can I showcase this world vision
Mm-hmm.
wise? What how can I make people want to come here? How can I make people allure people in to just say this world is absolutely amazing? I need to go and check it out. That's how I start. And then so I start visually patterning it in my mind, the scenes. And that's why when I go in with my camera, I know exactly what scenes I want to take. I know how I'm going to put it together already in my mind before I even start. Do you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's how, I always say, if you want to be creative, let's start in your mind. That using your mind like paper is the most powerful thing you can ever do because that is where it all starts. Mind.
Mm-hmm. You're definitely right about that. Because it your dream can die in your head with telling yourself that you can't do it.
Can't do it. Yeah.
So, and the
Hmm.
dream dies at that point and it does not come alive again. So, you're right. You're right. What's next, British?
What's next?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like a free spirit in the metaverse, like floating around. So I'm very like wherever my journey, the universe brings me, that's where I'm gonna be. Um, but what I will say is, what's next is greatness. I
Yep.
mean, I don't have no intention on doing anything but greatness. As long as it elevates the people around me, it elevates my feelings inside because I like when I do things and it makes me feel good. If something doesn't make me feel good, push it to the side. It's not
Mm-hmm.
for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but what next is greatness. I mean, as I said, I'm going to drop my office and then that's going to be beautiful. You've already had a sneak peek.
I did. I did. It's
Yeah.
lovely. It is
Yeah. Thank you.
lovely. It's lovely. Keep
So, yeah.
building. Keep
Yeah.
building.
Thank you. I
Don't
will.
stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. So I usually do a segment called Did You Know, where I bring a random topic to just kind of talk about it really quick. But I want to do something a little different.
Okay.
We both like the show Bridgerton. We're
Yeah.
both addicted to the show.
Yeah.
So
I love
that's
the
going to
Bridget.
be our Did You Know segment tonight. Just real quick. For everybody in here, any Bridgerton fans out there, probably not the
No.
gentleman.
Uh-uh.
Anybody like on Netflix?
Uh-uh.
It's popping, y'all. Anyway, let us talk about that real quick. What you think? So, where you think it's gonna happen? Where do you think the season is gonna head next?
I mean, now everybody knows exactly who
Whistle down.
writes, yeah, who Whistledown is and all of this kind of stuff. I think they've got to now come with something fiery, come with some heat and take it to the next level. Because otherwise, for me personally, I think it's going to fall flat. There's
I
only so
do.
much Bridgerton you can do. So
Yeah.
maybe they need to look into one of the other characters and make a story about them and take it from there. Or bring something fresh in to Bridgerton. Maybe something scandalous. I mean,
I'm with that.
maybe a group of gangsters, like old school gangsters, but you know,
It's probably going to be what's the lady name?
mm,
Her brother. It's going to be somebody in their clique. You know, her brother came this season. I would not be able to think of
her
nobody's name
brother.
while we're
Who's
yeah.
her?
Um, I can't think of her name.
But either
Can't think
way,
of her name. You
it's gonna
know,
be saucy. It's Bridgerton.
yeah,
They need to
yeah.
put a little bit more They need to make it saucy like the first one with love scenes and things like that, because I think that's what shocked everyone. I think that's what did it. Like everybody's a sucker for love, so maybe they need to just do that, but with somebody else.
I don't know who it could be at this point. But I am happy that we know who she is now, and I am happy to see Penelope with Colin. I think that was a long time coming. That
Yeah.
relationship may be tested further down into the season when Colin seriously think about that. He's going to be upset, and I feel like that is going to be the scandal that's coming back up. It's not going away. But anyway, we'll talk about that forever. So let's just let that be. That's our
Yeah.
segment for tonight on that. So anyway, so one last thing before
Okay.
we close out. Anything that you want to share with the viewers about in here or on YouTube about how to reach you, on what you're working on, provide all of your contact information, if you're open to building for the public, all of that. So send us out.
Oh, well, I do build for the public, but I'm very particular. I have to say this. I am a particular builder when I choose someone to build for. Is I don't just allow anyone to have my services because it's a vibration. Like creation
Mm-hmm.
is a vibration, right? So I do give my services, but if people want to contact me, you can contact me on British Candy dot br on Instagram. If you want to contact me in regards to the promotional Meta Blaze articles that I write to promote people and what it is they do, because I do it for people in real life.
Mm-hmm.
The prices are different, but you can work something out. Hey. So if you want to have one of those, it's Metablaze Publications at gmail.com. Yeah, so that's it,
And we'll
really.
publish all of that on the YouTube link to go back and take a look. And you could be able to contact her and reach out to her for any information. Okay. Anybody got any questions that y'all want to ask British from out there? Let me know. We want to thank all of
All
y'all
on
for
mute.
coming in. Yep. Show some confetti if you have a question. Oh,
Oh, you got to
y'all
take
got a
yourself off
question?
mute.
Thank y'all so much for coming tonight to share in this time with us, to meet this beautiful spirit, learn what she's doing
Thank
in this
you.
space. I think she's a great creator, an underrated creator. People really don't know that she's in here building. I think it is phenomenal. We look forward to seeing what you're doing here in this space, British. We really
Thank
do.
you.
Keep pushing forward.
Yes, I will.
All right. Thank y'all, ladies and gentlemen. Uh-oh, I got the drift real bad too. Thank you, British.
Welcome.
Ladies and
You're
gentlemen, how's it going
welcome.
there?
You did.
That was really great. Don't worry, I wasn't going to swear or anything. I'd never swear or anything.